Hi there. Hope you guys are doing really, really well. My name is Brian. I am your neighborhood queer psychic bestie. If this reading found you, then maybe it's for you. This is going to be a reading for earth signs. So this is Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. This can be a general collective for you guys. As always, take what resonates, leave what does not. If you would like to book a reading with me, you can do that through email or form submission on my website. I am new to YouTube, so if you want to leave the video a like if it resonates with you, you can subscribe. I do also stream tarot on Twitch 3 days a week. I offer readings on Twitch as well. So yeah, that's somewhere else you can find me. I have a Discord server as well if you'd like to join that, be part of the community. But let's get into this reading. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, earth signs. Let's get it. All right, bottom of the deck is your challenge. Represents what you're not seeing, what you're not looking at. You've got the Seven of Wands, you've got the Six of Swords, and you've got the Four of Pentacles, Four of Cups. Okay, this is a very on brand with earth signs, which I do understand. I have a Capricorn stellium. Y'all are being a little bit stubborn right now. There's a refusal to move right now. It feels like with this Seven of Wands, the Six of Swords, and the Four of Pentacles, there's some sort of progress forward that you guys are making here, but it almost feels like you're fighting it a little bit. With that Seven of Wands here, the way that I'm hearing this is it might not be showing up in the way that you want it to show up. And so you're like, well, that can't be it, right? Because that's not what I asked for. I feel like your guides want you to be a little bit more open to receiving right now without, the way I'm hearing it is like without the specifications. Because it does feel like right now with that Seven of Wands, it's like if it doesn't show up in a, like a pretty neat pink box, you're not going to take it. You're not going to want it. And I feel like that's a little bit of a problem right now, earth signs, because it does feel like you are working really hard here for something and you are like right on the precipice, I'm hearing, of like movement forward, but you're shooting yourself in the foot a little bit. My ear just got really itchy, my left ear. I don't know what the left ear means. I feel like right ear for me is gossip. I'm not sure what the left ear means spiritually. But yeah, we've got some movement coming in. So let's see what's going on. You start with the Six of Wands and the Seven of Swords. So definitely right off the bat, great. Six of Wands is great because it's victory, but the Seven of Swords is like sneakiness. So there might be a little bit of like a moving in silence is going on is how I'm hearing this, because it also is next to the moon and the Queen of Cups. Okay. I feel like some of you are operating from a place that you don't really like operating from, which is a little bit more sneaky, a little bit more quiet. Maybe sneaky is not the right word here, but staying to yourself. It's a little bit more of like, I'm not going to tell people what's going on. I'm just going to move in silence and let my progress speak for me here, which is positive, but it feels like you guys don't feel great about it. As an earth sign, it feels like you don't really like to be a little bit secretive. I'm also hearing some of you struggle with this because you are a little bit of like a yapper. Like I said, Capricorn stellium. I am also a yapper. The burp is confirmation. Y'all be yapping. You've got the moon again. You can't make it up. Nine of Pentacles. Pentacle energy. Come on, earth signs. Showing up in your own reading. Love this. With the Nine of Pentacles here, it does feel like you are kind of making moves towards being, the word I just heard was self-sufficient. So this could be Nine of Pentacles for me is a little bit entrepreneurial. It's a little bit like working for myself, having my own money. When I pull the Nine of Pentacles, I always think of, this is a Drag Race reference. Some of you may or may not get it. I always think of like, let me feel my oats. I'm feeling my oats. Nine of Pentacles is like, I know what I have to offer. I know what I bring to the table. And I feel like especially in work, earth signs, it feels like you guys really do know what you have to offer here. It's like you really do know what's going on, or like what people are, the way I just heard this is like what people are looking for. So you could be in a work where you're like creating things for people, or you're giving something, you're providing a service, or you're providing goods to people. Queen of Cups twice. Wow. Five of Cups. Okay. The way I just heard this from my guide is we're a little stressy, depressy. Yeah, bottom of the deck is the Nine of Swords here with the Four of Swords. There may be a lull right now for you. And I feel like with this Five of Cups and the Queen of Cups twice, some of you could have strong water placements as well, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. And I feel like for some of you, you're in your feels a little bit right now because maybe your heart, the way I'm hearing it is like the work that you're putting in is not paying off in the way that you want it to. And I feel like with this Five of Cups, you're a little bit like, okay, like, is this cycle going to repeat? Like, is this something that I've done before where like I've overgiven to a situation and then that situation didn't pan out? I don't feel like that's what's happening here. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I feel like this is just a moment of stillness. Yeah, Knight of Pentacles, slow and steady wins the race. This is a moment of like, you don't want like, how do I say that? This is such a weird analogy, what my guides are giving me, but like, it's like the new hot bar, like a trendy bar moves into the neighborhood and it's like really poppin' for 6 months and then it dies. Whereas like you have a dive bar in the same neighborhood that's been there since 1970. That's the example I'm getting here. So maybe some of you work in the food service or you're opening a restaurant. But it feels like, you know, you want to be on the vibe with the dive bar here, you know? You want to be on that road of like, I want long-term stability. I don't want to just like fly by the seat of my pants here. Yeah, you've got the Five of Swords and the Six of Cups. You've got to stop comparing your journey to the past here, okay? You guys need to remember that you are a completely different person than you were back whenever this is that you're comparing to, okay? A lot of you are just kind of like looking at where you've come from and being like, oh, I haven't learned. I feel like you're doing yourself a disservice here by thinking that you haven't really learned or that you haven't really like grown. Yeah, Two of Wands again. We've got the Sun and the Nine of Wands. I feel like for a lot of you, you want so badly for this endeavor to be fruitful that I feel like the fear of it being not fruitful is so high that it seems to be like almost overshadowing a little bit of your hope here. Two things can exist simultaneously. We can be afraid of the current time period while also being hopeful for something better in the future. Right now, it feels like your fear is kind of beating your hope down into the ground a little bit. And I feel like you have to work on, the way my guides are showing this to me is like a watering can, like watering the hope and letting it sprout and bloom, and allowing that to like grow again. Like they're showing me a sunflower, you know, sunflowers always face the sun. They're always looking at the sun, okay? Keep your eye on the sun, keep your eye on the prize, allow your hope to guide you. Sorry, I'm eating my own beard. Even though I just trimmed it, I can't win sometimes. You know, I feel like you're just a little downtrodden right now. Be downtrodden. You're allowed to have pity. We're allowed to like throw ourselves a pity party, but we got to make sure it doesn't turn into a pity block party, okay? In your clarifying row, you've got the Temperance and the Five of Pentacles. I think it's interesting that there was like so much plant imagery coming through and now there's flowers here. Some of you, flowers could be really important, but with Temperance and the Five of Pentacles here, I almost feel like... Hold on, say it again. Okay, the way my guy just said this to me is a bit abrasive. Your view of success was formed through a lens of abandonment. That's a bit of a problem, right? Because it feels like with Temperance and the Five of Pentacles, your success, it like always is hinging on, there's also something about acceptance in this as well that's kind of like bundled up. Like in order to be successful, you need to be accepted as well. Tell me more about this. This is the juice. This is the juice of the reading, Earth signs. I want to know. I want to know what's going on here. Yeah, the Magician. It's like a lot of you... Oh, it's perfectionism. Thank you. A lot of you chase perfectionism because you need everything to be perfect so that you have no fear of failure here. Perfectionism is created through that lens of abandonment here, okay? People are not going to abandon you just because maybe you don't put out one banger. You know, this is like, if you look at, the Tower, it's like, look at musicians here. There are some musicians that they put out really good albums and then their next album is a flop. Nobody says like, oh, you know, I'm never going to listen to that person again. The example I'll give you is a really obvious one. Like, obviously, As someone in the Alphabet Mafia, I love Lady Gaga. I think the album was Joanne. I think it's the country one. It was a little bit of a flop for me. It wasn't like, I wasn't like, oh my God, Lady Gaga sucks now. I'm never going to listen to her again. Okay. That's your brain lying to you. I almost just lost control of these cards too. I feel like you guys are doing this to yourselves. You're like, okay, let's say you make pottery. Let's say you make cups. You're like, I made cups that were super popular, and then I put out a certain group of cups recently that weren't so popular, so I'm a failure. You know, your need to be perfect is to create a world where you will never be abandoned or you will never experience abandonment again. But I hate to be the person to break this to you. There's always going to be some form of abandonment present for us, whether we're doing the ones abandoning or being abandoned by something else. Abandonment is shaped by the lens that we look at it through, right? So if you think about, like, let's say you went to go leave a job and you were like, oh my God, I can't leave them. They're going to suffer without me. Oh my God, how would I feel if someone did this to me? You're taking your lens of how you're viewing that abandonment and placing it on someone else, okay? People, us humans, we decide to stop and start things all of the time. Sometimes, you know, I'm sure you guys have had earth signs. You've had friendships that have been, you know, mid-friendship, a few years in, you're like, oh wait, like I don't actually vibe with this person anymore. Okay, it's time for me to go. You know, you can't fault people, including yourself, for realizing that something isn't serving them anymore, that something isn't right for them anymore, and then changing their mind. That's what this feels like for you. When we talk about abandonment, it is like kind of veiling the fact that people can change their mind, and the course of things can change. How you deal with it is what also has to change. A lot of you searching for just being perfect to avoid any sense of uncomfortability about things changing is an outdated coping mechanism, right? And so it feels like you need to let go of that outdated coping mechanism here. Yeah, Knight of Swords. Let things change. Let things go, babe. If it's not serving you, if it's not serving someone else, let it go. Obviously, I'm not saying if someone ghosts us, we're here to defend them. But what I am saying is, like, things change. That's a very hard thing for earth signs, I feel like, is like accepting change and moving through it. But with the High Priestess here as well, with this Knight of Swords, I feel like a lot of you know this already. You know, a lot of you are aware that the tides for you are changing, is how I'm hearing it. You know, like low tide, high tide, things are shifting in your world, and you have to accept that. Because your last two cards are really beautiful. It's the Sun and the Devil in reverse. I fucking love to see this, okay? The Devil in reverse is the release of chains that bind us, and the Sun is the happiest card in the deck. 8 of Wands in the clarifying deck as well on the bottom here. You gotta let things go. Whatever this is, whatever's going on, the word I just heard was tumultuousness. Through this tumultuousness, you have to let things go, okay? There are certain things that hurt us the more we try to desperately grab onto them, and that's what it feels like you're dealing with here. Yeah, 2 of Cups crossed. For some of you, there's like a partnership ending here. This doesn't have to be romantic. Like I said, this did feel very career heavy in the beginning. 2 of Cups can be romance, but it can also be business partnership in a career reading, you know? So it feels like 5 of Pentacles, Chariot in reverse. Girlies, come on. You're holding on really, really tight to something that is very, very painful right now, okay? And it feels like, again, 5 of Pentacles, lens of abandonment. You don't want to let this go. You don't want to abandon it. You're, like I said, 4 of Pentacles is literally a card of clutching everything, keeping it really close to your chest, okay? This is how y'all are looking right now. You need to stop and think, is this helping me? Holding on to everything so desperately until my palms are fucking sweating. Is it actually helping me right now? Chances are it's not. Spoiler alert, it's actually hurting you. Can I get some closing remarks for this collective, please? Can I get some closing remarks, please? Thank you. Yeah, 8 of Pentacles. Ooh, I just heard hard work, harder decisions. Ooh, and you can't make it up, earth signs. The Lovers is literally the choice card. I'm fucking gooped and gagged with this reading. Okay? Hard work, harder decisions. You got to let it go. You have to release this, whatever it is. If you love it, let it go. I don't know why I just heard that. 10 of Wands. Holding on to whatever this is that you're holding on to is causing you more harm than good. I can't stress that enough. Yeah, Queen of Swords. Justice in the reverse. Okay, this is where I'm going to end it with this message. If you can't let go of what you need to let go of, then how can you ever receive what you're meant to receive here? Justice in the reverse. A lot of you are like, where's my karma? Where's this thing that I want? This thing that I deserve? This thing that I asked for? Do you have room for it? Did you do the spring cleaning? Is there enough mental space? Is there enough physical space? Is there enough room for the thing that you're asking for here? Spoiler alert, there's not. So we are going to work on all of this. We're going to go back to the drawing board. We're going to like really dig into why you're holding on to this so hard. Go through those abandonment issues, work with that through that lens of abandonment, and then we're gonna let go and move on, okay? If this resonated with you, please, you can, I'm not gonna say please leave a like, but like you can leave a like if you want, and subscribe if you want. Like I think I mentioned this earlier, I stream on Twitch 3 days a week doing tarot readings, so you can find me there. And if you would like to book with me, you can do that through email or form submission on my website, okay? I will talk to you guys next time, and bye-bye.